Hey, this is Tom Nash. Welcome to the Value Investor by TipRanks. And today we have to talk about PayPal. What happened yesterday was insane. PayPal reported Q4 financials and dropped like a stone, 25%. So in this video, we're going to try and take a look whether this is a buying opportunity or a falling knife you want to stand clear from. Let's get started. So in every one of my videos, the bottom line comes first, including the ones I do on TipRanks. So the bottom line is, I think it's a buying opportunity. Now, that being said, I suggest you watch the analysis because, you might find out that I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. Maybe this is the ramblings of a madman. You don't know. Of course, this isn't financial advice. This is just my own opinion. So do your own research. Now, having said that, I think that PayPal actually suffered from this golden prison. It was attached at the hip to eBay, and that attachment generated a lot of business for PayPal, a lot. But on the other hand, it prevented and blocked a lot of potential businesses from working with PayPal, Amazon being a prime example. Now, with eBay out of the way, there's going to be a lot of pain in the system. A lot of revenue isn't going to be there. However, a lot of new business opportunities are going to open up. For example, Amazon have already started working in this relationship with PayPal by accepting Venmo on their platform for the first time. Venmo, of course, is by PayPal. So that's the beginning of a beautiful friendship that I think will take over whatever eBay was for PayPal. Now, you still have to understand how big and how important PayPal is in this e-commerce business. In the 1,500 biggest retailers in the US, PayPal is still the most accepted digital wallet. In 75 or 74% of the cases, it's actually accepted by these the biggest 1,500 retailers. The second place is, I think, Apple Pay with 20-something%. And then you have Amazon Pay and Google Pay with like 12 or 13%. So there's not even a debate who's the biggest digital wallet, the most accepted digital wallet in e-commerce. That is still PayPal and going to remain PayPal for the long foreseeable future. In fact, there's a very famous study that showed that PayPal as an option actually reduces abandoned carts at e-commerce businesses by 40%. So just by adding PayPal as a payment option, you actually kill 40% of the abandonment of these carts. And that's a huge problem for these retailers. And that kind of thing is really important to businesses. And you can't ignore that. And of course, we're talking about a company that has hundreds of millions of clients. A company that was trading at $300 per share just in September of last year. Now, a few months later with 130. Now, of course, there's a lot of smart people who analyze these stocks, and you can go and check them out specifically on TipRanks. You can look at specific analysts, what they're saying about the company. Go check it out. Go see what they're saying. Check their track record with the company before you do that. But as an aggregate, you can see on the TipRank page that actually PayPal is 50% discounted by the aggregate analyst reports. So at least as far as the analyst goes, this is a $200 stock, which I think is very close to where I have it as well, if not more. You have to understand, this is a company that still will give you 15% growth in 2022. For a company that's a blue chip company, a 15% growth, it's really not bad, especially a company that generated cash flow and is kind of low on debt, which is always something you want to have in inflation. Again, a company that's also not being shorted, only 1.5% short interest. 6 price to sales ratio, not the cheapest one, but definitely a reasonable price to sales, and a 32% PE, again, not the cheapest one, but not out of the ordinary for fintech. This is actually a reasonable valuation for this company. Now, you have to take a look at what they did last year. They did 21% revenue growth. They have 20% net income margin, which means they make 20 cents on the dollar, which translates to about $5 billion a year in net income, $13 billion in cash, $10 billion in debt, which means they're positive on cash versus debt, 74% billion of assets versus 52 billion in liabilities, which means they run a very healthy ship. Giving all of these considerations, giving the amount of TAM that just opened up with the actual ending of the relationship with eBay, I foresee a bumpy road ahead for PayPal. Obviously, they have to get over this massive loss of eBay, but we can already see the beginning of these new doors opening up. You know what they say, one door closes, one door opens. I think Amazon is going to fill up nicely whatever space is being left by eBay, because still, to this day, even though they're kind of the OG in the companionship, they're still the biggest player in digital wallets for e-commerce, and e-commerce ain't going nowhere. If anything, it's going to be much, much stronger. Whether the economy gets better or worse, the only thing we have to consider here is what would be the best entry point for you, and that I can't tell you. You have to decide for yourself. I personally think that shouldn't matter. Warren Buffett once said, if you see a good company, if you like the management, if you like the business, if you like the total addressable market, you shouldn't look at the price, just buy the company. Now, given that he said that, I'm not going to argue with him, especially for a company that's dropped 25% in a day, which seems a little bit excessive. There's a lot of algorithmic trading in the market right now, which creates this manic depressive reactions. Prices go up, prices go down, they swing really hard. And I think when you see a swing like this over a Q4 financials that were not as bad as it seems by this drop, I think it's an opportunity. But again, you do your own research, consult with a professional, read about it, research, decide if this is the best stock for you. Let us know below which stocks you want us to do next. This was a pleasure. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.